What's up, what's up? Ain't Got It Yet podcast, episode 49. Real happy about this one. I got Tony Jackson, the creator and owner of Rhythm and Brunch right here in San Diego. I appreciate you pulling up on me.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Everything good with you, man? How you feeling?
Everything's great. Good now that it took me about 25 minutes to actually find where we at. But nah, everything's great, bro.
It happens, man. I tell people, man, this is during the daytime, it's not the simplest, but it's easy to find. But at night, it gets crazy at night.
Yeah, nah, I was kind of scared a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
And this building ain't the...
Right.
Yeah, it gives you those types of vibes.
For sure. Haunted house, for sure. Absolutely.
Other than today and the frustration of getting here, other than that, you good?
Everything's great, bro. I'm definitely blessed and highly favored, for sure. So, I've been staying positive, been, head down, staying focused, and, like I said, bro, just blessed.
Absolutely.
How about yourself?
I've been good, man. I can't complain, man. I set some goals to really go hard. I set some concrete things that I wanted to reach for 2024, but above all, I just wanted to continue to go hard. I went really hard last year.
Yeah.
And I wanted to really turn it up this year. And we're 3 months in. These 3 months, I'm happy to say I've been doing that. So
okay.
I'm happy. Just finished up the showcase. It was a success.
For sure.
So yeah, things are looking good for me right now.
For sure.
Appreciate you asking too.
No, easy.
Absolutely. Now you've been doing big things here in the city for a minute now, man. The Rhythm and Brunch has been a big draw right here in the town for a long time. I think I first heard about it 2021, maybe. Yeah, I think 2021 is when I first heard about it. When exactly did it get started?
It had been a concept that I'd been, thinking on for a while. I actually got the concept going to college in Georgia back in 2016, and there were some changes that were going on in the nightlife, which I was working in. I was at Flux at the time, and it got bought by somebody else, and I got another job opportunity from somebody I worked with in the past, and he was kind of like, man, I need you over here. I need X, Y, and Z. And I told him that I'll be taking a crazy pay cut if I was coming over. But I was like, you know what? If I can start this brunch that I've been, thinking about, then I'll do it. And I want to say it was August of 2019 was the first brunch that I threw.
Nice.
And yeah, it was just some blending concepts of some things that I seen at Albany State, which was a HBCU that I went to, and going back and forth from Atlanta, and having family in Dallas and Houston, and seeing all these other urban parties and events that I just felt like the city needed.
That's dope, man. That's dope, man. Like I said, my first time hearing about it, one of my homegirls told me about it. She's like, you never heard of Rhythm and Brunch? You never been before? And she was saying it like, fam, you living under a rock or something?
You tripping.
And I absolutely, my first time going was at Tin Roof, and I definitely was like, how have I never heard of this, or have I never been here before?
For sure.
Definitely a vibe, bro. Definitely a lot of fun. And for me, I'm of course I still like to go out, but for me, I enjoy more of a chill vibe.
Absolutely.
Music, chill back, not too much going on. And so going to Rhythm and Brunch, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how turned up, how lit it was gonna be, which is cool. There's something for everybody. Yeah. That's just not always the vibe I'm trying to be in.
Absolutely.
So when I got there, it was a happy mix of both. There was you could turn up if you want to, but there's also enough people that's trying to be chill.
Absolutely.
And just catch a vibe too. So yeah, it's a perfect mix of the two, bro. I like it.
No. And just me as a person, that's what I prefer. I don't go out just because I've been working in the nightlife so long, just because it kind of gives me the ick now. But if I were to go out, if I'm in another city, that's the type of vibe I would want. I want to be able to choose if I want to be super lit, turned up, you feel me, dancing, swinging, all that type of shit, or if I want to just be on some chill shit in the back, just peeping game, just running my game on whoever I see fit. You feel me? So
that's what's up. What's up, man. I've only experienced, outside of San Diego, I've only experienced nightlife in LA.
Okay.
And I've only done that, I could count on my hands how many times I've done that. But when I first saw Rhythm and Brunch, it reminded me of a dude Carrington was his name. He went to San Marcos High. Okay. And I believe he went to school in DC. He went to college in DC. Okay. And he started working in the nightlife. And a lot of what he was doing looked like Rhythm and Brunch. Okay. So that was the only thing that I could liken it to. So right now, when you said college, I thought you was going to say DC. I'm like, no way. I thought you were going to say, Carrington? But yeah, so that was what it reminded me of, like an East Coast, the way they give it up out there.
For sure. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not too many urban events or even spots that we have to choose from. So it's like, if I'm gonna throw something, I like, it has to be something I've seen before, because at the end of the day, like, I'm in a business that I'm not going to be the first one to ever throw a day party. I'm not going to be the first one to ever throw a R&B party. So it's like, I've just made myself a student to the game, and just pick certain things from different places that I thought were dope. And I'm like, you know what? I can curate something great in a city that needs it. So
at this point, because there's a lot of different traveling, like, parties, so to speak, and I don't know how much traveling the Rhythm and Brunch has done, but there's a lot of different like traveling parties, whether it's been like the what is it,
R&B only.
Yeah, R&B only. There was Duce Palooza, Beauty Palooza before that,
For sure.
Trap Curator. There's a few different things. How do you like make sure your thing is its own thing and not similar to what anyone else is doing?
I think that I come from a mindset of, and like I said, I'm not the first person to ever, do it. But for San Diego specifically, it's just this mindset that's like, often imitated, never duplicated. Like, there's certain DJs that I book. There's certain pieces that I have to my team. There's certain strategies that I have when it comes to marketing and promotion that I know can't be copied and pasted. So I just make sure that I stick to my core values when it comes to, my baby Rhythm and Brunch. And I know that nothing like that in the city, at least, can match up. So
I like the way you said that. What's something? What has been one of the more challenging things as far as keeping Rhythm and Brunch, like, moving forward as a successful brand here in the city?
It's definitely the part where I think we all kind of know that, like I said, like, especially Gaslamp downtown, and then, like, so to speak, like, I guess you could say Pacific Beach as well. Sometimes it feels like the urban crowd isn't accepted in those spaces. So me, as the promoter, as the event planner, it's hard for me to sit down with these individuals and get them to grasp my concept without them actually seeing it first. If they hear it, sometimes it's an issue, because the imagery behind urban concept or black people partying could be negative, and it's one of those if you know type of situations. And I've been very blessed to I might have thrown Rhythm and Brunch 200 times, and I could count on one hand how many times I've dealt with fights. I've dealt with, like, some crazy situations, and I feel like it's because I'm Dago grown, I'm organic, I'm authentic. I don't deal with those same issues that other people do. So the hardest part for me right now is going into those meetings with these corporate individuals and these corporations, and allowing them allowing me to structure something that's going to work for the both of us, that could secure everything that they need to secure, but also, like, me secure my business as well. So that's always going to be the uphill battle, because there's only so many urban spots in downtown San Diego to where it's like, if we're at, let's just use F6, so to speak, right? If Rhythm and Brunch is throwing a party at F6, and so is SD Melanin, and so is Soul Sunday. Yeah, it's a different vibe, but then things start getting meshed, and to people who, and one thing I've noticed about social media is people don't read. So they'll see a flyer and they'll kind of halfway read it, but then it's like, oh, is something else going on at F6? F6 is and it just gets watered down. So trying to separate myself from everybody else and continue with fresh faces, fresh venues, fresh situations, that's always been the uphill battle.
Absolutely. This episode of the Ain't Got It Yet podcast is brought to you by More Life Liquid. More Life Liquid is a wellness company offering non-alcoholic, non-toxic beverages designed to promote vitality and well-being. They are committed to providing a healthy alternative that prioritizes your health and inspires a vibrant lifestyle. Now, the More Life Liquid company has just launched their Mothership collection. It's got 4 juices in the Mothership collection. They've got Golden Citrus, the Blueprint, Heartbeat, and the Green Light. I've got the Blueprint juice here with me today. The ingredients in it are pineapple, green apple, coconut water, mint, and blue spirulina. You guys, this juice is so good. I've been drinking it nonstop, along with the Golden Citrus juice. It's the only 2 I've tried so far, but all 4 juices are amazing. You guys head over to the More Life Liquid website and order your favorite juice today and use offer code FLIX at checkout to receive 15% off your entire purchase. Now let's get back to the show. You see on social media and on YouTube sometimes where like the different cities, different states, black-owned like brunch spaces or just like black-owned party spaces, so to speak, more so the brunch spaces. You're seeing more and more like the owners come out like, yo, y'all gotta cut all that out. Like,
for sure.
This is a space for us, but we're not doing that anymore.
Absolutely.
How do you find the balance between like letting us party the way we want to party and have our turn up, but then also keeping a level of classiness with it as well?
That's always a hard situation to gauge.
I can imagine.
But one thing about me is I have a heavy security background, I guess. When I was in college, I was doing some security work downtown before I actually got into the industry. My older brother George has a huge history background, and so even before
your brother,
Big George, my older brother,
let's have him on pretty soon.
Really?
That's dope.
Okay, yeah, no, that's definitely my big brother, and him being who he is and being in so many spaces, he worked for Exhibit for a long time back in the day. So he's also worked for NIP and he's worked for all these other big West Coast names. And I've always kind of had to put on that face. So even if I wasn't working security, I was still working security. So then it made it easier for me to transition into working security downtown. So I've always been a people watcher. I've always made sure I stay ahead of the curve in terms of, knowing the amount of drunk individuals are getting. And then I don't drink, so I'm at my events and I'm really programming. I'm really overseeing things. So it's not that hard for me to keep an eye on exactly what direction or what trajectory the party's heading. So I have conversations also with my employees, so my DJs and my security guards and my host and my bottle service girls. And if there's ever any situations that are getting amplified, we know to take care of that right now. So it's difficult, but I've been doing this so long, it's easy at the same time, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Now, on the flip side, I feel like I know the answer to this question, but how about maybe some of the top 2 or 3 most rewarding things that have come out of hosting this event here in the city?
I think that giving my people a space to feel comfortable and be themselves is the most rewarding thing. I think that because of the lack of spaces and opportunities that we have, I feel like when we were at Tin Roof, it instantly turned into a safe haven, so to speak. And no matter how your week went, no matter how your day went, you could come through, you can have a great time, and you go home feeling good about yourself. Mm-hmm. So those are certain things that I love to see. And then also Rhythm and Brunch has created its own platform to where I'm able to give back, right? So giving food away to the homeless, or donating to certain nonprofits, or teaming up with Ryan Anthony and doing his backpack giveaways, stuff like that in the community. Because as quiet as it's kept, I don't think that promoters and event planners in downtown San Diego really care about San Diego, and that's why I don't do too much collaborating with other promoters because I'm really from this city, bro, and I really like feel some type of way about how people maneuver and basically take the black dollar but don't pour back into the black community. So one thing that I'll always do, whether it's known by everybody or not, I will always make sure that I look out for the community that I came from. So
having that consciousness with your people and with your community, has that always been there? Was that something that kind of like grew and evolved over time?
It's always been there. I come from a household that has always cared about the community. My pops was the head football and track coach at Lincoln High School from 96 to 2003 when they shut down. And I've always seen it from him, you know, as much as he gave to the community and the kids, and I kind of saw how much they loved and cared about him after he was done at Lincoln High School. So that's always been a love for me. You feel me? Like this is where I was raised. This is where I grew up. There's no way I could really turn my back on something that made me the man I am today.
I love that. So you pretty much all football growing up for you, huh?
Nah, so I started off playing baseball.
Okay.
Per every black kid for real. T-ball, all the shit. Then I started hooping at Paradise Hills rec in I was probably in like the 3rd grade or so. And I really I didn't play football till high school.
Oh wow.
My pops was as great as he was as a football coach. He never made me play football. It was one of those things like, if you want to, you can, but I'm not gonna make you. So I always had the basketball Jones growing up. I thought I was Allen Iverson. I thought I was a point guard. And then I got to high school and I played 3 sports. I played football, basketball, and ran track. And then I got to college and I started playing basketball. I broke my knee my sophomore year and then went back to playing football. So I didn't really get good at football probably till I was in college. I was always okay, but I really took it seriously during college for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it? What do you think it was? Is it the fact that your dad was so heavily involved, you just didn't want to do it, or you just fell in love with basketball first?
I just fell in love with basketball first, bro. And then he didn't really let me play Pop Warner because back then it was based on your weight. So I was a bigger kid, so I'd have to play with the older kids. And me not getting into football until later, it kind of might have been an issue. And then he had his own politics that he had to deal with coaching at Lincoln. So it's like, okay, well, is your son finna go play for VP? Is he gonna go play for Skyline? Is he gonna go play for Balboa? And we've never really had the conversation, but I feel like those are the type of situations he was gonna have to deal with. So he just never pressed it.
I respect it. Yeah, you see it even with coaches today, even if they don't, like, not even their own kids, just kids that have been around them when they were in 4th and 5th grade, and now it's like time to start really choosing. It's like, oh, where they finna go?
For sure.
I always hate to see. Well, I can't say I hate to see it. It's always going to be a thing. I hate when so much of it is visibly affecting the kid.
For sure.
I can't stand to see that.
For sure.
It's like one thing, like a kid, sometimes it makes the kid feel like big man on kid, you know what I mean? When it's like, oh yeah, they want me over there, they want me over here. But it, like when the kid knows about like the fighting that these grown men are doing about where he's gonna go to school, that is always nasty to me, bro. I hate seeing that.
Yeah, it's terrible, and it's only getting worse. Like literally on every level, especially because social media is so prevalent. It's nasty business sometimes, bro, for sure. You hoop too?
Not so much anymore, man. I ain't really played. It's funny, my boy EA been trying to get me to come out of retirement. I've been trying to. We were supposed to go. It's his fault. We were supposed to go last Sunday. He forgot to come pick me up. Well, he overslept and didn't come pick me up.
Overslept.
Right?
Yeah. Nah, I actually I talked to him on Sunday. We were supposed to go to Muni today.
Oh, okay.
And that actually might be my fault. I forgot to tap in with bro.
We were supposed to go hoop on Sunday at Poway like mad early in the morning. And I made sure like the night before, like brought all my hoop stuff.
For sure.
Packed everything. Woke up early calling this dude. He flaked on me. That's all right. We gonna make it.
That's crazy because I did see bro at Short Club on Sunday. So
yeah, he told me. He told me. He told me, I was like, yeah, you finna. He's like, yeah, you know, I gotta go in there, fam. You know, I gotta go in there. But yeah, I ain't played really since the pandemic. I was hosting runs up in Vista during the pandemic just to give the kids somewhere to play. But that was my last time really playing.
Okay.
It was fun though. I came, you know what I'm saying? I came out of retirement, got back in shape, got the jumper back going. It felt good, but that was the last time I really played. I've been trying to get back to it though.
But you hoop growing up though?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
My first organized basketball was at the Encanto Rec. I played one season there, and then every season after that was at MLK.
Okay.
For sure. And I got into football late. I didn't really start playing football like consistently until 8th grade. We moved to Escondido. We left Southeast, moved to Escondido when I was in 7th grade. And right before we moved, my dad signed me up for South Bay. All my homies, all 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, everybody was at VP. I think we missed the sign up or missed the deadline or something, so we had to go. He was like, it's either here or don't play. And so we went over there. I think I played like a scrimmage and then one game, and then we moved down to Escondido.
Got you. Mm-hmm. Okay. What high school did you go to?
I went to Orange Glen.
Orange Glen,
Okay. Yeah.
And hooped there?
Yeah, I hooped and played football. I ran track for a couple years, but I didn't do it my senior year. We were decent in both football and basketball. We lost in the first round of the playoffs for both football and basketball.
Okay.
My senior year, that was our football team's first time making the playoffs in like 10 years. And I want to say my junior year was my school's first time making it to the playoffs. I want to say in a long time as well.
Okay.
So I graduated 06. So like my class and like the couples afterwards, they were like some of the best athletes to come around for.
So basically, you saying like you the X Factor type shit? Like,
not me, my class.
Nah, bro, it's good, bro.
I was good in football. I didn't start in basketball.
Okay.
I started in football. I started at left corner, so I was good in football. I was like top 12, top 15 in the county in football. I wasn't very good at basketball.
Okay.
I didn't get the time. Yeah. What was your numbers like? How was you like in high school?
High school. So my high school situation was kind of different. We had moved to Spring Valley, and I transferred to Spring Valley Middle, and kind of like created a friend group, and we all used to hoop and do all the stuff, and we played for the Running Rebels. And after 8th grade, everybody's like, okay, well, we're all gonna go here and whatever. In the back of my mind, Lincoln was gonna open up my sophomore year, so I never planned on staying at Monte Vista. It just kind of ended up happening after they didn't give my dad the coaching job back. It was kind of like, okay, well, I'm here. And then back then, the transfer rules were a lot different.
Way different.
So I wasn't trying to lose a year.
I heard that.
So I had other options. Like I could have went to Helix, I could have went to Horizon, I could have went to these other schools. But it was like, for one, I'm not trying to lose a year. And then after my freshman year at Monte Vista, I was already low key like that nigga. So I got brought up to varsity as a freshman, and then for playoffs, and then I made the varsity team as a sophomore for basketball. So it's kind of like I felt like I had it made already. And football, we were ass. football, we weren't that good.
When did you graduate?
10.
Okay.
So like my junior year, we were pretty good. I want to say we were like 6-4. We made it to the playoffs. We lost to Sarah on some like bullshit. It was like the final score was like 9-6. So football was just like, that's why I never really cared about it that much, because we weren't really good.
I feel that.
And it was like basketball, we were better. We had a lot of pieces. We just went through a couple different coaching changes. So trying to figure that out was different. But I was a better basketball player than football player at the time. We used to beat up on Mount McGill and go at it with Helix and, some epic battles. And but it was more so like in high school, I had to turn into like Superman. It felt like almost. I feel it. Because my senior year, all those same guys we talked about from like middle school that we were supposed to go to the same school, and you know, one of the homies had a baby, so he wasn't giving a fuck about basketball, and the other homies found they love with volleyball and they don't care about basketball. So now I'm the only senior and I'm starting with 4 sophomores. So it's like, all right, T-Jack, put that cape on and figure it out. You know, so
what was recruitment like? Because you end up at a HBCU.
Yeah.
What was recruitment like?
So I'm still kind of salty about it. My high school football coach didn't give a damn about anybody. So there was and I found this out later in recruitment. There was coaches that had reached out to my high school coach, and he wasn't relaying the messages. I remember there was one time where I think it was Air Force came to one of our practices, and you know, there was probably like 3 or 4 of us that really could have went to play football at the D1 level, and he kind of told them like, we don't have anybody ready to play Division I sports. So I look at that a lot differently now, especially that I've coached in high school. How can you take that away from a kid who, you know, has worked their ass off for however many years, coming from wherever they're coming from? Like, how can you do some shit like that? So I'm still salty about that. Luckily, I linked up with a guy by the name of Montel Allen, and
You keep talking.
okay, and
My bad. He was over there. My bad.
I met up with Montel Allen and Coach Rowe, and they both made me some highlight tapes for football and sent them out. I probably had every Division II that you could think of that was recruiting me and wanted me to come play. But at the time, I'm 18 and I really don't even want to play football. So it's like, where the basketball offers at? So went to go play the summer circuit after with Coach Sean Manning, and you know, had some looks. UC Riverside was interested, Northridge was interested, a couple other D1 AA schools were interested, but it was like nobody had any money at the time. So I'm like, you know what? I actually could have walked on at San Diego State. And now in hindsight, I'm salty about that one too, because that next year is when they went to the Sweet 16 with Kawhi and Malcolm and all that type of shit. And I was looking at the other kids on like that were right in the bench, and I'm like, I hoop better than these niggas, bro. You feel me? But I took my talents to Grossmont College, and I was going to gray shirt at first, and I allowed one of my friends to talk me into starting my clock, and it was an interesting year. We had a whole bunch of dudes that could go, like could really hoop, but the coaching didn't match up with the players, and I think we won like 5 games that year.
Ouch.
But when I tell you we had hoopers, like Trey Ash, Martin Thomas goes by Pooter. We had a lot of guys Ray Rice. We had a lot of guys that could go, but it just never matched up with the coaching style. So went to Grossmont. My second year, I broke my knee. I rehabbed hella hard, came back from that, and I was supposed to go to Prairie View A&M. And one thing about HBCUs, man, they always gonna take their sweet time. And I kind of felt pressed for time, so I ended up going to this school in Missouri called Central Methodist, and got out there and played football. Was going to play basketball too, but then I had some issues with my tuition. I was supposed to be on full scholarship. They basically tried to kick me out the dorms and tell me I owed like $4,000, and like I just had to figure it out. So I ended up coming back the second semester, went to Southwestern. Went back to playing football, won 2 championships at Southwestern, ended up being like really really good in football.
Nice.
And I played tight end and receiver.
Nice.
So damn near using my arch nemesis. But I didn't take school too seriously. It was always always didn't care. Like, I was always smart, but it was the going to class part of it that I didn't care about. And you know, I'm with the homies, we chilling. Maybe I'll go to class, maybe I won't. And that's kind of what messed me up in the long run. So after I left Southwestern, or when I was about to leave Southwestern, I had like Oregon interested, I had Akron interested, I had Syracuse interested, but for this, when it was time for me to leave, I only had one full-time semester left to play if I wanted to go D1, and nobody's taking that chance. You know, when you talk about scholarships and giving away money, they'd rather go find a guy fresh out of high school that they could bring into their system and program. And I ended up going to Albany State, really off of humbug. Me and my quarterback went on a trip to this school called Benedict in South Carolina. And their coaching staff had just left Albany State, and they were telling us how much they loved it, what the culture was like. So we're literally at Hooters, bro, and they're telling us all this stuff. And mind you, we went to like their spring game, and they were terrible. So I'm like under the table, like emailing the coach at Albany State, like, here's my film. And he called me the next day, bro, and was like, hey, we need you here now. And really some slick shit, but
if the coach here, this is gonna be his first time knowing that.
Absolutely. But I don't fuck with him no more, no way. So it's all good.
It'd be all right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I ended up at Albany State. But it was a combination of injuries, not taking school seriously, and just like some things that I wish I would have changed. Like in hindsight. So
I feel that. We all got those regrets and those shoulda, coulda, woulda.
For sure.
Absolutely. I got a few, especially when it comes to college.
Yeah.
When it comes to college, absolutely.
Like what?
I didn't. I appreciate you asking that too. I didn't create good habits. Not even study habits. Just like habits like that you need as an adult.
Yeah.
I didn't create any of those, bro. And I'm actively working on creating them now. Like it's. And my dad would always tell me all the time, like, all right, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And me, I'm always been like the king of procrastination, and I can always. I've learned now in my adulthood, within the last 3 years or so, I've realized that it's the ADHD that I've always had, and I always put things off to the last minute because I can finish it in the 12th hour.
For sure.
I've always done that, writing papers, anything. I can always, and especially in school, I put stuff off to the last minute, do it the night before, turn it in, and get a B. I'd be thinking like, man, if I apply myself, I get all A's. And so, like, when my dad and different people in my life would be telling me, like, you need to start creating good habits. I would always think, like, I ain't one of them people that need good habits. It come down to the 12th hour. It's just not a good thing, but I don't really need it. I don't really need to develop those types of things. You know what I mean? But of course, that's just being a young dumb nigga just thinking you know everything.
You preaching to the choir right now, though. So like I was the same way. Like I remember like literally pulling all-nighters and just knocking shit out and thinking afterwards like I did okay on this paper, but imagine if I like did it when I was supposed to.
100%.
But then the next paper I'm doing the same shit. So
every time.
So
all through school, bro, I relied on, like, I was always like, I can't say a class clown. I wasn't like the funniest dude in class, but I was really trying to make the girls laugh. So I was like making people laugh, and my teachers always loved me. My teachers always loved me, so I always relied on being able to do stuff in the last minute and being somewhat charming.
For sure.
I could put both of those things together and pretty much run through any finish line at the last second, you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't really need to, develop those types of things. But, I'm doing it now. I'm happy to say I'm doing it now.
Yeah, for sure. That's all that matters, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I was just telling my brother, was it yesterday or today? Like I have to make lists in the day, and more than one.
Yeah.
And if I don't, like, and it could be like the simplest thing about, like, I do 100 push-ups. And once I do it and cross it off the list, bro, I feel so accomplished.
Yeah.
It could be the smallest thing, but I have to do that now. I have to. Otherwise, things aren't going to get done. She was telling me when we got here, she was like, where your list? Because I forgot something. She's like, where the list at? Where don't you got a list? And I'm like, yeah, I know. You're right. Obviously, this is kind of like a silly thing to even say because it should be true for everybody. But the more organized I get, the more successful I've
for sure.
Without question.
For sure.
Without question.
I've definitely had to get better at that as well because I'm so helter-skelter all over the place half the time, bro. Like, if I don't write something down, I'm fucked. I'll forget about it, and then I do my best thinking late night. So it'll be 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be like, oh, shit, I forgot to. And then it won't be time for me to reach out to certain people about certain, like, business-oriented things. So I got, like, my notes in my phone. It's crazy. And I literally have to go look at them every single day to make sure I didn't forget shit because literally, bro, the ADHD be whooping my ass. It's bad.
Okay, so let me ask you, have you when were you diagnosed and when did you find out that you had ADHD?
I wouldn't say I was diagnosed. I would say as a kid I just got my ass beat.
Okay.
Black households.
I was about to say it's a few stories, more than a few.
For sure. So yeah, I don't think I was ever diagnosed. I'm just like, I feel like the older we get, the more accepting we are of these things that we didn't know about. So the more I read about it or the more I learn about it, it's like, you know what, like this kind of adds up. So it's more of like a self-diagnosis thing rather than me going to the doctor and, shit like that.
That's what it was for me too. And I was like, I don't want to be one of them people that like, we get sick, we jump on WebMD, like, dang, I might have cancer. Like, I didn't want to be one of them to like self-diagnose myself with, but I was like, the more, like you said, the more research I did, the more reading I did, and the more like just digging into it, I'm like, this is my life. This has been me my entire life.
For sure.
And then I was talking to one of my friends who he's 27, and he said he got diagnosed with ADHD when he was like 7 or 8, and he said to this day he still takes supplements for it. But I was talking to him, I was like, I might have ADHD, bro. He's like, bro, you definitely got ADHD. I'm like, oh, you say that? He like, nah, bro, like I've had ADHD my whole life. You absolutely have ADHD. I'm like, how can you tell? He like, you just know your kind when you see him, bro.
Hey, that's
you
crazy.
definitely got ADHD, fam. He's like, how forgetful you are, the way like how just like absent-minded you could be. And I'm like, he's saying stuff and I'm low-key like getting offended. I'm
nah,
like,
for sure.
I'm responsible.
Like, nigga, what you mean?
And I had to think like, nah, this dude has been getting to know me for the last couple of years. Like, this is just his, what he's observed.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I can't take offense to that.
Yeah.
Being a friend.
Yeah,
I can't
literally.
take offense to that. And then right after that, he sent me some supplements to go on, but this is what I take, bro. It helps me. I said, go grab some of this.
So you borrowed some of bro's medicine?
I still haven't tried it yet. And see, bro, I've been trying to, I feel like I don't have like a negative stigma about medication, but obviously I do because I haven't taken it myself. And then my oldest son has autism.
Okay.
And, just recently talking to the school, they were like, they can't like tell you to go like get medicine, but they can like dance around saying it around. I was picking up what they was putting down. Yeah. But even as they were saying it, I was like, whatever I can do to make my son successful is what I want to do.
Absolutely.
But even still with that, like, I'm like, let's try some other things before we do the meds. You know what I mean? And I don't judge anyone who takes meds, and I don't, there's no judgment. I don't know why. I just still have somewhat of a stigma about it. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's so like I was saying, like the more that we learn about these situations, the better. And there's nothing wrong with having ADHD or ADD or autism. Like, I was in education for 2.5 years, and some of my favorite kids were on the spectrum. And it literally could be something super minor that puts them on the spectrum, but it doesn't, and every kid isn't the same. So the more we learn, the better. But like you were saying, like everything doesn't have to have a negative stigmatism to it. So no, it's actually like better that we all are students to this. So
I like the way you said that. I appreciate it.
For sure.
It's definitely I feel like it's made me I'm very patient with kids anyway, but I feel like just, learning more about, my own ADHD and my son's autism, it's made me much more patient, just overall in life. It just makes me think like everyone's dealing with something. You know that, but for me, whenever I would think about that, I would think about like, everybody might have a bill they might be late on, or everybody just lost somebody yesterday. I never thought about what everyone's dealing with in their brain, whether it's they've been diagnosed with something or not. I never thought about that. And so like, I've always said I've never really had much patience for adults, but just, finding out that I have ADHD and dealing with it, and how much it frustrates me, and how much my ADHD and forgetfulness and everything that comes with it frustrates my loved ones. It just, forces me to have that much more patience for everybody else.
It's like a revolving door, bro, because those same kids that you have patience with turn into grown-ups at some point, right? And who's to say that when they were kids, it was treated properly?
Very true.
So it's definitely an interesting concept when you think about, the universe and it coming back around, for sure. So, you gotta have that same patience, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes it's like, motherfucker, are you serious?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
So I get it for sure, but.
What's I mean, you got R&B brunch has been going smoothly now. Before I get there, were there how do you do? Are there like seasons with it? Do you try to wait for a certain time of the year? Because I felt like there was like a hiatus for a little while, then it came back. So how do you determine like how consistent it's going to be, or how often you're going to do it?
I think that I have tested the market so many different ways and just kind of looked for what's worked the best. Now, obviously, you get into summertime, and that's when people want to be outside. That's when you have people that are willing to travel and, all that good stuff. So summertime is definitely ideal. I was in a situation at Tin Roof where I was basically contracted into throwing a party every single Sunday, which I never really wanted to do because I never wanted to oversaturate my brand. I wanted it to be something that people look for, whether it was once a month, whether it was once every other month. But Tin Roof gave me an opportunity to not only come in and throw my party, but I also created a separate party. So I had Rhythm and Brunch, then I created Select Sundays as like the alternate hip hop day party, which didn't necessarily accentuate the brunch part of it, but it was still a party and we still served food and it was still cool. So I think that now, being able to throw my party every single Sunday, I kind of try and stay away from that. I like the fact that I'm able to throw a party, sit back, reevaluate, see what I did well, see what I didn't do well, see who I need to fire, who I don't need to fire, so to speak, and move forward. And then it gives me an opportunity to, if I want to bring an artist, I have time to work out those logistics and go back and forth with whoever the artist is and make it make sense and talk to these other venues. And I'm not so, like I said, helter skelter with everything. So I have tentative dates that I want to target. Sometimes it's around holidays, sometimes it's not. Holidays are a lot easier with it being Sunday Funday because people don't work on Monday. So now it's like for people who work Monday through Friday, they're like, oh, I could go get fucked up on Sunday, rather than I don't know if I want to go that hard on Sunday because I got to be at work on Monday. So it's always premeditated, and my brother James and my sis Tara, I always text them because they're the ones that can talk me off a ledge if I want to, like, because I be thinking about doing crazy shit, bro. Like I want to do so many things and bring so many so many other ideas to the city. Sometimes I'll hit the group chat and I'll be like, hey, what y'all think about this? And they're like, nigga, relax. So those are I keep them on my shoulder. Like they're the angels, I'm the devil. I'm always like, hey, let's do this, let's do this, and they're like, hey, pump your brakes, player. Yeah, bro. It just depends.
Yeah.
During the spring, summer, I definitely try to throw my event twice a month. During the winter, the fall and winter months, sometimes I might throw my event once every other month. It kind of just depends.
I hear you. Yeah, man, doing it weekly, it
was crazy, bro.
I can imagine.
It was stressful.
Bro, I did the kickback was an event, but it wasn't even like I didn't have to sell no tickets. I really just had to buy stuff to have, little food and stuff for people. But that was still a whole ordeal in and of itself, like making sure the Eventbrite was doing what it was supposed to do, making sure, like, answering emails. And then it's even more so with the showcase, like, because I actually got to spend money and buy things.
For sure.
It's a man. I can only imagine trying to do something like that every week.
Bro, people don't understand what goes into being a curator, being an event planner, and then, like, when it comes to Rhythm and Brunch, like, I'm also the operator as well. So it's like there'll be times where during Rhythm and Brunch, in the kitchen helping cook, or I'm walking tables, or I'm cleaning up trash. Like, I'm doing all these things, and it's interesting because since I've worked in this industry for so long, people expect for me to, pick up my phone all the time, or, be able to talk on the phone like during my events. And it's like, bro, if I could turn off my phone, I would. I don't want to talk to you, none of you motherfuckers, while during these 6 hours.
Right.
Please don't talk to me, because I'm doing so much, and I think that that's what people don't understand. People will pull up to Rhythm and Brunch and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is cool. But they don't understand everything that goes into it. Like, I'm staffing, buying the groceries, like outsourcing and hiring people. If I want to do a 360 camera, I'm hiring them and making sure they're set up. Like, there's so many moving parts to this situation to where it's like, I wish some people could come and like be right next to me while I'm doing this. And then you'll have a different respect for what I do, and you'll be like, you know what, let me leave Tony alone on Sundays. You feel me? So
I say that all the time, bro. And I'm even more like kind of mean with it. I got it from Joe Budden. I'm a big Joe Budden fan. He was talking about how podcasting has become more popular, and he was like, I like when I see other podcasts fail, and people took away. Exactly, you hear that? It's like, this nigga mean. Yeah. But I knew what he meant just because I'm a big fan of his, and I kind of like understood what he was thinking. But then he went on to explain it. He was saying like, no, like, I like when people jump into this space assuming that it's going to be a quick lick or that it's going to be simple, and then they stop because it forces them to have to respect the people like me who keep it going. So when you said I wish people could be right here next to me, that's what I was thinking. I feel like it would cause so many more people that even if they're just throwing one event, or if they're building towards doing something, or if they've done it and stopped. When you see somebody like you who got this brand and you've been doing it now consistently for years, you only thing you can do is salute it. At that point, the only thing you can do is salute it. When you see everything that goes into it, how much money it takes, how frustrating it can be, how people can piss you off, and you still got to shrug that off and just keep moving forward. Like, it's a lot, bro.
Yeah, because literally, like, during an event, like, realistically, when it comes to the customer service side, like, it's customer service, but then you're dealing with it amplified by 10 because everybody's drunk. So it's like the level of patience that I have to have is insane. And that's why, like, I disappear a lot. And I don't mind being in the kitchen and helping out, or, doing some things that I like. I literally hire certain people to do certain jobs, so I don't have to deal with it. So don't call me, don't ask for me. Like, this your job, get it done.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely from a lot of different angles. It's interesting to say the least.
I bet.
Yeah.
What do you do to decompress? You got all this going on. You running a party. All this going on. So, like, let's say, Monday or Tuesday after you've had a little time to count the money or do whatever you need to do. What do you do to decompress and kind of like, catch your breath?
Sleep.
That's it. Nothing else.
Bro, Mondays after an event. So after the event, so
that makes sense. That makes sense.
So my Sunday, like my days are pretty much similar, right? Sunday morning, I get up, I go hoop with my brother, and I hop in the shower and I get right to it. I'll go to Restaurant Depot, I'll go to Smart and Final, I'll shop for everything, I'll drop it off. I will check Eventbrite, look at the numbers, look at what tables I have, transfer all the information, make it available for my door girl and my VIP host, meet with the venue, meet with my staff, give them a pre-shift, and then really just get everything rolling. By the time my day is over, so if Rhythm and Brunch ends at 10 o'clock, I probably won't leave the venue until like midnight. Bro, I'll be cramping up my Charlie horses, like back locked up. I'm like, bro, I'm so through. People will text me like, "Hey, what are you doing after this?" Nigga, I'm going to sleep.
Right. Where the after party at, nigga?
Yeah. Like, y'all got it, bro. Please leave me out of this. So Sunday, I'll catch up on my rest, and I usually do my reconciling either Monday night or Tuesday morning. And I just recently got back into the gym, so you know that's where my mental space is clear. I just started hooping a lot more, so really it's the same things that got me to this point, right? So I had a very tough time after chasing football. So I got back from Albany State in 2016, and I still was like really pushing this football stuff. So I had some workouts. I did some spring leagues. I had some tryouts with some CFL teams, and nothing really stuck. And it was like, I've been playing sports so long, I really didn't know what direction my life was finna go. And it was tough, bro. And depression hit me kind of late. And I talked to my dad about this, and I don't know if it was really a depressing state, or if it was like the realization of my life not panning out how I wanted it to pan out. And when it hit me, it was like, okay, from 6 years old till I was 29, I was on strict regimens, I was programming, I was working out, I was doing all these things to be the best athlete I could possibly be. So at what point do you realize that I can do X, Y, and Z on the flip side of things? So I'm almost 30 years old, and it's like, what am I about to do? So that realization kind of messed me up a little bit, and I've told people before, like, Rhythm and Brunch really like changed my life, bro, because I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do. Like, was I going to be a security guard forever? Was I going to be a VIP host forever? I didn't know. And it gave me the opportunity and the availability to be happy again. So I've always been a big music guy. My parents, both back in the day, my mom used to DJ in college. My pops and my uncle used to throw parties. So like, we got like vinyls from the 70s and 80s in the crib. And, you think back to like Saturday morning cleanups and Sunday morning cleanups and listening to music. And for me, bro, music obviously is audio, but it takes me back to certain places in life. And that's why I love music so much. I can hear a song and I'm automatically 6 years old cleaning up the house with my mom and my pops, right? And that's the great thing about music to me, and that's where my love of R&B stems from. I forgot where I'm going with this.
It's all good. Good. Okay, question for you. With so you made me forget my question that quick too. With that was where I was going with it. So I've spoken to other event planners. I'm sorry, like party throwers and event planners here in the city, and a few of them have told me that they purposely don't date any women that come to their events because in fear of like something not working out
Yeah.
and them not coming back, or like telling that girls like, I don't go there.
Yeah.
How do you is that kind of the same story with you? Like how do you deal with all that?
I definitely don't shit where I sleep or eat, whichever way you want to go with that. I feel like, and I tell my homies this, I feel like I'm the best alley-oop thrower in San Diego. Because if you come to a Rhythm and Brunch and you're a male, there's enough opportunities to choose from. And if you strike out, that's just on you. But me personally, I'm there for work. I kind of like look right through people. And not on purpose, not as like a bad thing, but it's just like I told you, like I'm running all the operations. So I'm back and forth running 100 miles per hour, making sure everything is good. But I've never really even wanted to date anybody that's actively coming to my events. Like I just keep this certain separation, you know? And it's not necessarily that hard because I don't even actively date. So it's like, I just come have a good time.
Any reason that you too busy, or like what's the reason for not wanting to actively date?
I think that where I am in my entrepreneurism, it doesn't mesh well with most women that I've encountered. I think that because of what I do, because I mean, aside from Rhythm and Brunch, I still do some other things, and a lot of the stuff that I do is working with artists and booking them in other cities or routing their tours or doing these certain type of things. So it's like I'll be in San Diego one night, I might have to be in San Jose the next night and make sure the business is going right on this play, or I might have to be in Arizona the next night. So me just thinking about having to think about somebody else's feelings right now, that's not fair to them, and it's not fair to me. Like I'm okay with like I'm self-sufficient enough to move on my own and be okay.
Got you.
So
got you. If I'm too much in your business, just let me know.
You clean,
so
bro.
If you like if you're you meet a woman, I'm sure you're a handsome guy, I'm sure you still meet women, and like you explain all that to her and she still wants to like share space or go on a date. How does that go?
I think that I'm very open and honest about whatever situation I got going on. So if I communicate that and they still want to, a lot of the times I'm probably still going to try and play it to the left. But if that's something you want to do, like I'm never going to be the I told you so type of person, but it's always going to come to that at the end of the day. And it's just like, you can't be mad at me because I told you from the jump what it was. Hard head make a soft ass, and you feel me? You just found out the hard way.
Oh man, hey, I tell people all the time, man. The worst thing you can do is take away somebody's ability to make a choice.
That's a fact.
If they, you know what I'm saying, you tell them what it is and they still want to take that ride, they've made a choice at that point. So
Nah, for sure.
it is what it is at that point.
Absolutely.
We'll leave that alone. My guy, I'm glad I had you on the show today, man. I've been a big fan of Rhythm and Brunch. I was supposed to go on Sunday. I got busy with some stuff.
It's all good.
I'm definitely gonna be at the next one. I'll be at the next one for sure. I haven't been to one for a minute, admittedly, but I'm gonna be at the next one for sure.
Nah, I definitely.
And I appreciate you coming to the showcase on Saturday, man.
No, for sure.
I appreciate you, bro.
For sure. Like I told you, I think that when it comes to like podcasts, I always turn them down. Just because I watch podcasts myself, and I have to make sure that the alignment is right. And I never want to be on a, like, what I didn't want to do was you reach out to me and it be one of those like toxic dating podcasts or like all the super viral shit that goes viral for the wrong reasons. But we have mutual friends that speak very highly of you. I have also been a fan of yours. I know last year you shot for the Pro-Am.
Yep.
And Thomas Marcus and Malik Parsons are two of my like younger homies that I've watched grow up and continue to support. and some of the work that you've done with them is remarkable to say the least.
Bro, thank you.
And I without even talking to you, I kind of see your vision behind what you're doing, and I think that there's a certain mesh point that we'll have where we could also work together. And it's like, if I can help you grow your platform and we can, connect and do some dope things for the city, it's only going to make sense.
Absolutely.
So, when Speakerbox told me, yo, go do it, when I watched your interviews with like the older homies that I grew up with, like Tiny Do and, Mitchie Slick is, the Dago legend, and Norman is somebody that I hooped with growing up. Like, me seeing stuff like that, it means something to me. So it's like, if you're getting the stamp from my peers and people that I've looked up to, it's only right for me to do it.
I appreciate that, man. That's a big compliment. Hey, Speakerbox, I appreciate you, fam. That's a big compliment, bro. I appreciate that, man. It's everything what you said is what I do it for, man. I never like I said, we talked a little bit off camera. Like, you asked me why I started a podcast. I never wanted to. I didn't get into this because I wanted to talk about like the corny stuff that everybody respectfully. I shouldn't have said corny. The stuff that everybody else talks.
Corn is corn, bro.
It is. It's today. It's a lot of podcasts out there on the cob, bro. For real.
There's a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of people. Is
in general,
for sure, bro.
And I've said before, corny people make corny podcasts.
For sure.
You can't. It's. Anyway, but
talk your shit, bro.
I never wanted to. I try my best to make every episode be evergreen if I can. Like, I don't want to. Like, we might talk about what LeBron did the other night, or we might talk about whatever Diddy going through right now. We might touch on it, you know what I'm saying? But I never wanted to like come in and have social media or whatever's going on the timeline be the basis of my topics on the show. I never want.
It's got to be the real, bro.
Yeah, absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely. And I think I think that's why it's been a slow burn for me. I think that's why my growth has been slower than some other people, because I don't like I do my show the way I do my show. Yeah. And it took a while for people to notice it and for it to catch, but it's finally begun to catch, and people are really beginning to respect both me and my platform for what they are. And I'm very appreciative of that, for sure.
No, for sure. And bro, at the end of the day, like, longevity is all that matters. And literally, bro, like, speaking of LeBron, you look at LeBron being in the league for 21 years and consistently doing what he's doing and getting better. Like, I look at the blueprint that he set, and even though it's basketball, NBA, like, I try and follow those same steps in my line of business. You feel me? And I know that, like, me throwing events, I've seen parties start and fizzle out. And it's definitely a blessing that I'm going on 5 years of throwing this event, but I don't plan to stop anytime soon. So longevity is something I always think, and I've always done it my way. So as long as you stick to your core values and do shit your way, you're gonna win every time, bro.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I appreciate you saying that, fam.
No, easy.
My guy Tony, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. You already know.
Absolutely. Welcome back anytime if you want to pull up and talk about something, promote something.
No, for sure.
Open platform for you, fam.
Yeah. Listen, I'm with it because I feel like this specific episode, we just scratched the surface. We didn't even really get into like the depth of anything for real. So I'll definitely be back. I'll definitely shoot you a couple ideas of some other creatives that you should you might want to bring on the show as well.
Yes, so please. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I definitely appreciate. Oh yeah, for sure. Bet. It's funny we can get out here and say it's been like a nope. That's something I gotta tell you off camera. I can't even say that on camera. I can't even say that on camera. Almost got myself in trouble. Ain't Got It Yet podcast, episode 49. I got Tony. I appreciate you pulling up,
yes,
man.
Sir. Yes, sir. You already know. It's love.
Take care.
For sure.